I recently went to a sauna house the other day, and the one thing I thought was really interesting, because for me, the idea of going to a place like this, or even going to a park, or a place where you can really be present and really begin to ground yourself, is that in order for you to really optimize the benefits of going to places like this or being at places like this, is to really connect with yourself and ultimately connect with the source, right? Connect with your higher mind. And so the thing I noticed while I was at this sauna house is that pretty much everybody there was either on their phone or on a laptop. And I thought it really fascinating because for me, I felt like it was an opportunity for me to connect with myself, for me to essentially disconnect from all of the things that I have going on day in and day out, right? The business, the ideas of, what to write about, what to, share with other people, and how to do it and how to get my message across so that way I can impact more people, and so for me, it was an opportunity to say, okay, let me just chill, be still, be with myself, and connect with myself on a deeper level. And so as I was there, I was just amazed, but yet I understood that it is so easy for us to get distracted by, video, distracted by games, our phones, texting and communicating with other people, and not really honing in and cultivating true well-being by connecting with self. And so what I want to share with you today, how important it is to be okay with being with yourself. And I'm not talking about being with yourself home alone watching TV or on your phone scrolling, I'm talking about really being with yourself, being in a space where you are in and examining and witnessing and observing your own mind, where you are thinking about things that are really fascinating and of interest to you. And you are taking yourself to a realm of wonder and mystery and questioning, but in a way that is stimulating your mind, and not just simply a way that is creating fear, anxiety, comparisons, but a way that allows you to really connect with yourself and get to know yourself on a deeper level. Because really, do you really know yourself? That is the question. And this journey throughout life, this spiritual journey that you are consciously on, is about learning and understanding who you are. And I can pretty much guarantee that in all areas of your life, you're probably not fully fulfilled and happy. And so this spiritual journey is about coming into yourself to fulfill and understand what parts and categories of life that you can really make your own and really create an alignment with your true self. But you must know who your true self is in order for you to actually materialize those things. And so as you go through life, it is easy for us to get distracted because maybe you're stressed out, right? Maybe you're going through some struggles and you really need some escapism. And that's fair and that's valid. But there has to be a time where you really disconnect from those distractions and you are no longer putting yourself in a position to escape, but rather putting yourself in a position to deal with and face head on what issues are present right now in your life. And so in order for you to do that, you have to start with yourself. You have to start with really collecting all of the information and insight as to who you are. Then once you do that, fall in love with who you are. You see, because it starts with really analyzing and coming into self-awareness. And then from that comes self-acceptance, which is love. When you come into self-acceptance with yourself, then that's when life opens up and life becomes truly a playground for you. But you have to be willing to spend time with yourself in order to achieve that. So, ask yourself, can you really sit in a room for 5, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour without wanting to pick up your phone, without wanting to pick up a book, without wanting to pick up the remote, without wanting to have a conversation with somebody? you really need to analyze that and get into that, because the more and the longer you go without fully connecting with yourself, that is, the longer you will go without truly learning how to manifest and materialize the things that you want in life, and ultimately the life that you want, and ultimately the fulfillment that you are so seeking, right? So be mindful about that. Spend time with yourself. Recognize that you are the key to unlocking all of that which you want, but you have to spend time with self in order for you to access that key. You see, it is about self-awareness. It is about learning who you are, the intricacies, the good, the bad, the strengths, the weaknesses. Recognizing, though, that the bad isn't really bad. The weaknesses are not really weaknesses. There are now opportunities for you to understand how to maneuver and how to face the obstacles, how to look at certain challenges and obstacles from a certain point of view to figure out which way works for you in order for you to get the thing, right? In order for you to come into the self-realization, right? Remember, by getting the thing, it is the steps by which you are building your path of self-realization, recognizing that you are the creator of your reality. You are the God of your universe. So as you go through this process, recognize the most important part of the process is being with yourself, spending time with yourself, being alone. And I know when we think of this idea of being alone, it is often, it's often associated with a heavy connotation of negativity, of not being good enough, of being weird, being isolated. But in fact, it is the thing that's actually going to create the space for you to have the most connections, the most bonds, because you are clear about who you are. When you're clear about who you are, when you're clear about what it is that you want, then you know how to place yourself in places and positions and in groups of people who are similar to you and similar to that which you are creating. And thus, connecting with yourself allows you to connect better with other people. You see, there are many times where you may come across somebody who is just not quite confident in who they are. They may come off awkward. They may be shy. And that is essentially them not fully owning who they are. And so in order for you to prevent that for yourself, you have to spend time with yourself from a space of love, compassion, right? Empathy. Because in order for you to create friends, you first have to become your own best friend. And you being your own best friend means that you fully accept yourself as you are. And when you fully accept yourself as you are, there is no shyness, right? Because shyness usually stems from a place of insecurity. You can be an introvert, you can be an extrovert, and that's fine. But it takes really tapping into yourself to truly build confidence. Because even confident people can be introverts, and that's okay. But you recognize when it is time for you to get things done, to create things, then you can be more authentic and be true to who you are in those kinds of environment where you may seek community, you may seek partnership, you may seek, support when it comes to creating something way bigger than you probably have created so far. So be mindful. It always starts, though, with you being alone with yourself, accepting who you are. The most profound experience for me when I came to this realization was in the form of relationships, right? In the category of relationships where, I was dating a lot, but there was still an uncertainty about who I was and connecting with that truth about who I was and recognizing what was truly important to me instead of compromising that aspects, a series of aspects about myself just to accommodate or just to get along with somebody, right? But then once I started to recognize the patterns of unfulfilled relationships, then I realized, okay, it is me, right? And that's an important thing to take notice of too. You have to always look at your role that you played in every situation in order for you to grow. And so for me, I looked at, okay, what role am I playing in this pattern? And what I noticed was, okay, I am fearful of being alone, and therefore I am compromising who I am, right, in order to be with somebody. And then eventually that rears its head because I am not fully fulfilled because I'm not being authentic, right? So then I had to take away this fear of being alone. And that taking away that fear allowed me to simply be myself and to accept all aspects of myself, my beliefs, my lifestyle, and be okay. Like I had to tell myself, you know what, I'm good. I'm okay being alone by myself, because that is actually when I'm the most fulfilled and the most happy, because I'm living my life according to what resonates with me and what truly expresses itself to me in a way that means fulfillment, happiness, joy, peace, right? And so immediately, once I got to that point, that is when I attracted my goddess, my life partner, because first I had to be true to who I was. And that took the trials and errors of other relationships. That took me looking at myself, having a deep look at myself in order for me to accept, okay, this is who I am, and I am going to be who I am. And thus, when I am that, I attract the things that I desire or that resonates with me and what it is that I believe are important in my values, in my lifestyle. You see, so you must spend time with yourself. You must accept who you are. When you accept who you are, then everything that you desire is simply just placed on your lap. Thank you so much. Feel free to go to drabundant.com, subscribe to my daily newsletter, and you also be able to download this free ebook, The Power Within. You will also be invited when you subscribe to my Manifestation Monday morning meetings that happen every Monday morning at 7 a.m. It's absolutely free. So set your alarms for 7 a.m. in the morning, dial in, and just have a listen. All right. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.